Zel Boy Army, welcome to another video on the channel. Today's video is one that I think is going to be really helpful to a lot of you. It is 5 features in FIFA 21 that you didn't know exist. I think a few of you might know some of them, but I'll be surprised if many people know all of them. There's a few that I didn't realise until some people told me about, and it's all helpful stuff that I think could give you that competitive edge. We're probably going to have Weekend League on Friday this week, coming up, I think 16th. It's not confirmed yet, but I think that's what EA have been saying. We're going to get it. So you want to know these things ready for the first Weekend League. The first one isn't even going to be a gameplay one. All the others are gameplay ones. I'll show you clips of how you do them. But the first one is something that it really confused me at the start. I was like, why have they taken this out? I was looking through all the menus to find my club. I couldn't see it in any of these. I was like, here, it's got to be a nope. My club, the section for that, where you look at all your different stuff, you go to the transfer list, you click the left stick in, so L3, and then it comes up with all this stuff. So I can see all the players I've got. Like, it's way quicker to sell all your players from here, obviously. Your staff. I'm on my PS account, my Road to Glory, that I might start playing on a bit. So, don't have anywhere near as big a club on here. But yeah, you press L3, left stick, click in, Xbox, PlayStation, same, in the transfer list, and it takes you to the My Club section. This is an important part of FIFA, the My Club section, because this is where you do everything in terms of transfer listing. It will take way longer to just do it from the squad menu. So My Club is in the transfer list, press L3. Boys, if you like this type of content, by the way, every single day I'm putting 1, 2, even 3 videos some days that I dedicate to helping you guys improve. Please consider subscribing to the channel. When you like the videos, comment on them. It helps them do better. I really do appreciate the support. Let's get into some gameplay tips. Okay, the second feature that we are going to look at is the super cancel. I don't know if it's called the super hard cancel or the super cancel, but basically you press all back 4 buttons. So on PlayStation 4, we're talking about L1, L2, R1, and R2. Xbox, LB, LT, RT, and RB. Basically, you do this when you've charged something up and you want to cancel it. So, let's say you do a through ball, you think the shot's going to be on, you power up the shot, but you think, okay, it's not going to work, so you cancel it by pressing all those buttons really quick. It's been a thing in FIFA before, but over the last few years, for some reason, it worked a bit when you press L2 and R2, but it just didn't work quite as well. Whereas this year, it works every time now, bar the occasional one where it bugs out. By the way, apologies for leaving up my, I think that's my follower panel on Twitch. If you've not checked my Twitch out, every day in the evening, so normally anytime for about 6 PM UK time, I'm streaming over on Twitch every single day. You get to watch me play games live, ask me questions, open packs. I use a God Squad a lot of the time on my Xbox, so I'm going to start using Road to Glory on PS4, so you get to see me play with different players. My Xbox team has Zidane, Pele, and I'm going to be using that later tonight. Make sure you tune in. Yeah, the Twitch is great. Lots of great people in there. We've got a great community. But the super cancel, you can see here, look there, Aubameyang is charging up a long pass. You can see the power charge up, and then he doesn't do it because after I've charged it up, see a few where I charge it up and I don't actually pass it because I do the super cancel. So the super cancel has some really good uses for it. Occasionally, like there, I mess it up and it's a bit harder to do, but the super cancel can work really well at saving you from giving the ball away in a stupid position because you've made a bad decision. But there's also another element of it, which this one creates quite a bit of a skill gap in doing it. It's going to be a lot harder to do consistently, but you can see here, I think I'm trying to do some tricks. I'm trying to do the Cruyff turn, and you can cancel it in the middle of it. I don't think I do it very consistently. I'm still practicing with it, but there's certain tricks that if you do it the right time and super cancel it, that it can completely fool your opponent, and it's going to be able to create some pretty cool moves in the box. I think there's going to be some tricks that people are going to figure out that you can super cancel in the middle of the animation that people don't even know about yet. And when people start to realise these combos, there's going to be some sick ways of scoring goals and almost like faking out your opponent that we don't even realise exists yet. The best one that I've seen is the Berber spin. So you can see me start to experiment with it here. That's not the Berber spin. Okay, watch this here. You see there, I cancel it in the middle of it. If you do it at the right time, it looks really good. And I think there's a few coming up where I do it at a really good time. And it's very hard to defend because when people, a lot of the time when a good player sees the animation of the Berber spin, see there, that was the one there where my opponent started to move to the other side. That in an actual game, that's another really good one. If you can get that down, it's just going to be another way to fake your opponent. And FIFA, one of the best ways of beating people is to get in the head, be unpredictable, not let them know what you're going to do. So many people on FIFA are so predictable and just keep doing the same thing. On this FIFA, the predictable thing is just spamming the same 1-2s. A lot of people that I'm playing against, I'm finding it not that hard to defend, even though defending obviously is harder on this game. Because all they do is they just do a 1-2. So all I have to do is just go and mark the pass that they're going to do every time. And it's very easy to stop them. But if you start to mix in tricks, if you do the Berber spin once and then you go to do it again, they're going to mark it, but you super cancel it. It's all these different mind games, different combos that you can start to use. And I think there's going to be a lot of creativity in things that come up over the year that people are going to discover. The third feature that we are going to talk about is the hard tackle. Something new implemented to FIFA this year. It is basically to do it, you press R1 and circle or R, B and B on Xbox. On previous FIFAs, I think it's the last two FIFAs this has been a thing, you can hold the tackle button. We're talking about the standing tackle. And if you hold it, charge it up, it does a more aggressive tackle that is more likely to get the ball in certain positions and more likely to keep the ball afterwards. But if you mistime it, the player lunges in more and is going to struggle to recover as quick. I'm not really even sure why they implemented this, because I thought the standing tackle charging up system was fine. But effectively what it does is it means that if you charge, instead of having to charge it up, you can just press R1 and circle and instantly do a charged up tackle. That is what the hard tackle is. And I think for defending, it's going to have some really useful situations it can be used in. Effectively, it means you can just do a harder tackle and have more chance of getting the ball. One of the things people are really struggling with on this game is keeping the ball after the tackle. I'm not saying this fixes it, but I've noticed when I do this tackle, I do keep the ball more. The players with better tackling stats, the bigger players, who, like we're talking about like Vieira, Van Dijk, they're going to be even better with it. And there's some crazy tackling animations I've seen with this. Here's an example of it here, where I just do it and it does a charged up tackle, but it does it instantly. I didn't have to charge it up. And one of the nice things with it is you don't necessarily have to react ahead of time, whereas like the charging one, you had to plan ahead. Whereas this one, if someone passes it and you switch and you think, oh, I can do it, you instantly press it and it does it straight away. So it's going to be a really nice feature that's going to help you out defending. Be careful with it, because if you overuse it or you do it in a bad position, you could lunge in and give too much space up. But I definitely think it's going to be a useful feature this year that can add to your defending and it's going to help you come away with the ball cleaner. One of the biggest, like, how do I put it, like on the box or the back of the box even, features that they've added for FIFA this year is creative runs. My favourite thing about FIFA 21 isn't the creative runs, they're kind of cool, but it's the attacking AI is insanely better. The attacking AI last year was so poor at times. I'm talking like, I'd have a cutback, if my player just stood still, he would have an open net, and he would run into the net. Never mind that being offside, just like, why are you running into the net? But this year the attacking AI is so much better, which for me somewhat makes the creative runs not quite as useful, but there is definitely some, excuse the pun, but creative things you can do with them. There's 3 types of them. I think most people will know these exist, but not everyone will know some of the ways you can use them. So I'm going to show you quickly. If you want a bit more in depth about the creative runs, then let me know and I could do a video about them. Okay, here. So what you do is I need to show the split second where that comes up. So when this comes up, if this diamond with the lines around it comes up, that means someone's doing the creative runs. You press the 2 sticks in, so the left stick and right stick, and then the type of one I'm doing now, there's 3 types I'm going to show you, is this one's where I move the right stick, like I'm player switching, and I've moved it here, so I've switched to this player, and now instead of controlling the way the guy on the ball's moving, I'm controlling this guy, so whichever way I move the left stick's the way he will go. So you can use it to quickly switch to someone and put them into a better position. So here, I've switched to him, and I'm going to make him run here into the space. So he's running past that guy, and watch the space it creates. If I'd have ball rolled it straight away or taken a touch that way, I might have scored from that. But you can see with that how creative runs are going to be useful. Creative runs, I definitely think, are going to have a lot of use on the wings at times. At a higher level, I'm not convinced, because the problem with them is that you're going to have situations where it's just not quick enough and good players will just press you better. That's the main issue I'm seeing with creative runs. So they're like, that made Aubameyang made a nicer run. I think the attacking AI is so good that you might not necessarily need them, but I think there's going to be some use for them. I just think at a pro level they might not be the best simply because they're a bit clunky and a bit hard to use. But the 4th feature is creative runs, and I'm going to show you 2 other types of runs that are probably easier and probably will have more of a use. Another thing you can do with the creative runs is, rather than when you press the 2 sticks in, using the right stick to switch to make a run with a player off the ball, you can press the 2 sticks in. So now instead of a normal triangle indicator like that, it is a diamond, which means we've got the creative run thing on. I pass it with Aubameyang, and then because I've not switched to someone else, it means when I've passed it with Aubameyang, I'm still controlling him. So now the player that I've just passed with, I make a run with, and here I can do a quick 1-2 where I pass and then I run that way, and Aubameyang now gets in on goal. That, I think, is easier to use because it's just less clunky, it's quicker, and I think especially around the box you're going to get a lot more use with that, and I think that is actually where creative runs could start to show themselves more. Another thing that you can do with the creative run system this year, I'm pretty certain this is something that's part of the creative run system, it's definitely a new feature. So you're kind of getting 3 different types of creative run features all in this 4th one about creative runs, is when you pass it, if you flick the right stick as soon as you pass it, whichever way you flick it, the player will make that run. So when I pass this here, if I flick the right stick that way, this guy will run that way. This could be becoming pretty useful in a situation, say, I'm here, I pass it there, and I flick the right stick there, so I can pass it to a guy there, back heel it there, go there and score. Here, I've passed it there, and then I'm running that way. So you can see there, he makes a run in behind. I don't actually get in because he gets obstructed, but this is a nicer way to have more control over your team and just decide where they're running. The attacking AI, like I say, is a lot smarter this year, but this has definitely had some uses for me where I've been able to make more incisive cutting runs that the computer wouldn't have made for me. Possibly my favourite trick on this year's game is the feint and turn. To do this, whichever way you're running, you do the right stick the opposite way twice. So I'm running this way. When I'm running this way, I do the right stick that way twice, and it does it. So 180 degree angle to whichever way you're running, right stick twice, and it will do this. I think it's a 3-star skill. I've not tried it. I don't think we're 2-star. It definitely works on 3-star skills though. One of the nice things with it is so quick, and it doesn't add to the skill chain error. So you could do 100 of these in a row and you won't lose the ball in terms of the ball won't start bouncing away because of the skill chain. It's just so quick, and it is a really nice way of quickly turning and catching your opponent out. In the box, I think this is one of the best tricks now. It's not what the drag back used to be, because the drag back you can exit either way. But the drag back's been nerfed quite heavy this year, so I think the feint and turn is going to be really useful in the box at quickly catching people out. See there, just very nice quick turn. it works a lot better with the really good players. Like on my there, when people dive in like that, that's when it can have a lot of use. For me, I've got Pele on my Xbox team. He is insane at this. Whereas if you do it with centre back, it's not going to work quite as well. Let me show you a clip of a goal I scored with it. The thing about the fade turn that I love is it's just so quick at turning the box. So here, where I've got Jack Grealish, who's only got a 3-star weak foot, I don't really want to turn and shoot there. I think it probably would go into this game because the weak foot's just isn't as quite as big a deal. But here, I look like I might go that way. I might even pass there. I do the right stick down, down twice. And look how sharp the turn is. And it's just a nice, easy goal. If you have a 5-star weak foot, this trick is going to be insane in the box. Because people are never going to know which way you're going to turn. And you're just going to be able to turn like that. It's been working for me in high Div 1 rivals. If you can get that trick down, it's going to be really useful. Make sure you check out my 5 top skill moves video. That trick was in there. But yeah, that's a new trick this year that a lot of people don't know about. Boys, appreciate you watching the video. Let me know if there's anything new you've noticed in here that you've picked up that you wouldn't have known before. If you want me to do another video like this, if it's something that you think's helpful, I'm always trying to put out content that you boys enjoy, and most important, is helping you improve at the game. Appreciate you all. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Watch out for 7 o'clock where we've got our 94 Zidane review.